Extreme Blog. Thank you for reading and thank you for clicking on the video. In this video, I'm going to show you 12 different dumbbell exercises that you can do at home with very little equipment, just a handful of dumbbells. And these exercises are perfect for beginners or even if you're a stronger person. All these exercises can be made easier by going down in weight, and they can be made more difficult by going up in weight. But these are basic exercises. It's a full body workout using dumbbells. We're going to start with the lower body. The very first exercise is a glute bridge. I always like to activate my glutes before I start any workout just to make sure that all of my muscles are getting the maximum benefit, in particular my glutes. So the glutes are a very big muscle, so I'm going to use the 15-pound weight for this one. How do you do a glute bridge? You're going to sit down with your weight. You put the weight on your hip, okay? And you're going to lay down. Legs at like a 45-degree angle. And you have to hold the weight so the weight doesn't slide. And you're going to move your hips up towards the ceiling. Just like that, hips to the ceiling. Holding the weight. When you do the glute bridge, you should be feeling the burn in your glutes. If your glutes are inactive, you're going to feel it in your hamstrings. If you do happen to feel this exercise in your hamstrings, then the glute bridge is a very important exercise for you because your glutes are not active. Exercise number 2 is a goblet squat. Your goblet squat's going to use your quads here, another big muscle, so I'm going to grab the biggest weight I have, which is 15 pounds. You can go up or down with your weight if you want. You're going to hold your dumbbell like this, almost like you're holding a goblet. Feet a little bit more than shoulder width apart. And you're going to squat down, making sure, imagine you're sitting in a chair, making sure your knees do not go past your toes. So I've got my weight here like a goblet, holding it to my chest, and I'm going to go down. I kind of touch my elbows to my knees. That works for my height. And I go up, down, and up. This is not a squat. This is not down far enough. Make sure when you do your goblet squat, you're going all the way down and back up. That is a goblet squat. Okay, next exercise is a lunge. I'm going to show you front lunges and back lunges, okay? Front lunges are more difficult than back lunges. I'm going to pick up my 10-pound weights for these, especially because front lunges are difficult. They require more balance. So I'm going to stand with my back straight, and I'm going to step forward with my right foot. I'm going to go down just until my left knee kind of taps the ground very gently. Your knee doesn't even have to touch the ground. Keep your back as straight as possible the whole time, and you're pushing off. That is the front lunge. The back lunge is slightly easier than the front lunge because it requires less balance. So I've got my 10-pound weight still. I step back and I tap down with my knee. That is the back lunge. You can do front lunge only, back lunge only. Do both, your choice. Okay, exercise number 4 is a deadlift. This is a very good exercise for your hamstrings and the back of your legs. I'm going to stick with my 10-pound weights for this. For the deadlift, it is absolutely critical that you keep your back in a neutral position. By neutral, I mean not curved like this, okay? A natural bend in your back. So the entire time you're doing this deadlift, I want you to be asking yourself, is my back straight? Is my back neutral? So I've got my feet shoulder width apart. I'm bringing my weights in front of me, and I'm going to hinge at the hips and lower these weights kind of to mid-shin. Hinging at the hips, taking these weights to mid-shin. My back is neutral the whole time. I'm going to stand up. and that is your deadlift. So I'm taking the weight back to my mid-shin, keeping my back straight, hinging at the hips. Knees are bending just a little bit and going straight up, okay? Neutral back and straight neck are critical for the deadlift. If you use your back properly during this, like the deadlift is not an exercise for your back, it's an exercise for your hamstrings. Okay, exercise number 5, this is the last lower body exercise. It's a calf raise. I'm gonna grab my heavy weights for this. Calf raises, just to give our calves some attention, are very simple. You're gonna stand, again, feet shoulder width apart, and you're gonna go up on your tippy toes. That's a calf raise, right? I grabbed my 15-pound weights for these. All of your leg muscles are pretty big muscles, so they can use pretty heavy weights. Okay, exercise number 6. This is upper body exercise number 1. It is the curl and press. I'm gonna grab my 10-pound weights for this. A curl press is a great compound exercise because it moves lots of joints at once. I'm going to stand feet shoulder width apart, have my palms out with my weights together here. I'm going to curl the dumbbell up, turn my palms out, and I'm going to push my dumbbells to the ceiling. Turn them back in, together, and down. Palms facing me, palms facing out, press to the ceiling. Compound exercises are going to use more than one muscle. They're going to use more than one joint. They are great, especially for older athletes. Next exercise is the lateral fly. This is exercise number 7. I'm going to grab my little weights because a lateral fly is a little difficult for me. It's very straightforward. Stand straight with your dumbbells in hand, or even don't use weight on these if you want. And you're just going to lift your arms and you're going to make a T. This is the lateral raise. These are hard. They look very simple, but they are deceptively simple looking. That is the lateral raise, okay? The next exercise is a bent over fly. I'm going to keep these little weights because a bent over fly is also a little difficult for me. I'm going to get in a position that looks like a ski jumper. All right, my feet are about shoulder width apart, and I have to step away from that so I don't hit it. And I'm squatting down kind of like I'm a ski jumper. I've got my weights in my hand, and now in ski jumper position, I'm kind of going to flap my arms like a bird, keeping my back in a neutral position, never arching or hunching. You're going to feel your muscles squeezing together between your shoulders. That's one thing that makes it a little difficult. If using weight is too much, do these without weight. But again, you're in like a ski jumper position, neutral back, kind of flying like a bird. That is the bent over fly. Okay, next one is the dumbbell row. I am going to grab my 10-pound weights for these. These are kind of a bigger back muscle we're going to be using. And, okay, for the dumbbell row, you're going to get down kind of in that skier position again. Imagine you are on a ski jump, and you've got these weights hanging straight down. Now imagine you're starting a lawnmower. You're pulling the cord on a lawnmower. You're going to pull these weights straight to your elbow. I'm sorry, your armpit. Weights straight to your armpit. That is the dumbbell row. Okay. Next exercise is the tricep press. So this is the way a lot of people do a tricep press with one weight. I don't like to do it this way, but you might see people doing it like this. When I do a tricep press like that, I use my arms unequally. So I use 2 weights. I'm gonna grab my 2 little 5-pound weights, and for my tricep press, I'm gonna bring my weights back like this. I've got my elbows in, and I'll press the weights up to the ceiling. Make sure you're not doing your elbows out like that. Keep your elbows close to your head, and just press your weights to the ceiling. This way, you know each each muscle is working independently, and one's not working harder than the other. That is a overhead tricep press. Okay, the last 2 exercises are actually core exercises. The first one is a Russian twist. I'm going to grab my 15-pound weight for this, and I'm going to sit on the floor. I'm going to hold my weight like this, right? And I'm sitting here. Now I'm going to lean back just a little bit. So now my feet have even come off the ground. The only thing holding me here is my core, okay? Now I'm going to twist. I'm going to tap the weight on either side. So my core is holding me here, and my obliques are making me twist. That is a Russian twist. Maybe 15 pounds was too much. That felt hard. Okay, the very last exercise is also a core exercise. It is a weighted sit-up. I'm going to grab, let's do 5 pounds. Let's see what 5 pounds feels like. Weighted sit-up. So it's a little different from the sit-ups we did in gym class. I'm going to lay down. Got my weight in my hand. And I'm going to sit up holding my weight to my chest like this. And I'm going to sit up kind of like an inchworm and bring my legs to my chest. So I'm laying completely down. And that is a weighted sit-up. Okay, those 12 exercises, that is a full body workout using very little equipment. I only had 3 sets of dumbbells here, 5, 10, and 15. So with very little equipment, you can get in a very good full body workout. You can make it easier by using less weight. You can make it harder by using more weight. And that's it. I hope you learned some basic activities that can help get you stronger. And again, thank you for reading. Thank you for watching.